Good evening. Welcome to K Cube. I'm Ken.
I'm Kevlon. Hope everybody's doing well today. Welcome to Montgomery, where the old is new and the fools is moot.
Oh, now.
So, what we're going to do today is just reach into a little bit of what's happening right now today. Fortunately, we have another tragedy that we're going to report to you guys. Lewiston, second largest city in what state is that?
Maine.
Maine.
Yeah, Lewiston, Maine.
16 dead, dozens injured. They're right now they're still, assessing the damage, looking at what's all going on. They have pictures of the guy who did it and everything. Just another fool with a gun.
Yeah, as usual. And looks like there's been an update to the story. They now say that there's at least 22 people dead. Some of that case went ham in a bowling alley up in Maine and started shooting, had a long rifle. I think they put his picture up. Let's see if we
can. I'll tell you. I think it's at the end there.
Well, then, yeah.
It's buffering.
Yeah.
In any event, y'all, let's talk about this for a quick second. We have some news we're gonna get to. We're gonna talk about some of these Trump cases and the hissy fit that he threw today, and some other things. I think she's getting ready to start talking.
All right, let's see.
The US state of Maine are right now under a citywide lockdown as police try to apprehend an active shooter. Local sheriffs sharing the image of the suspect who appears to be armed with a rifle in Lewiston. Multiple people have already been injured. The US state of Maine.
Okay, now I just want to play, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so there you have it. They did put his picture up on the screen so you could get a look at him. Guy with a long rifle, AR, Bushmaster looking type of a weapon. And apparently it's very effective, enough to kill 22 and injure 60.
Yeah. If you would have had a pistol, 22 people wouldn't be dead tonight.
Yeah. Like an old school Smith & Wesson or something like that. Yeah.
You know, the thing is, here's the deal. If you flood the United States population with a bunch of heavy artillery, what do you expect to happen? Do you expect that less people are going to die or more people are going to die? People say, well, restricting what gun I get, that's against the Second Amendment. It is absolutely not, because in the Heller ruling, the right-wing judge Scalia even put in the ruling that the states have the ability to regulate gun ownership. What does that mean? They can tell you what kind of gun to get, what kind of clips to get, all of that stuff. I mean, literally, they can go down to the make and model and say this gun must be turned in, or else if we find it on you, we take you to jail, or we're going to do a buyback program. They can do as many things as they want to do to remove these particular types of weapons from the streets. There's a reason why when we go to war, we don't carry pistols.
Right.
We carry those types of guns because those are meant to mow down a bunch of people very quickly. I personally do not trust that particular type of weapon in the hands of civilians, because not everybody in this country is stable and smart and not evil enough, to use it. Some people will use it. Some people will decide, for whatever reason, get frustrated. If they have access to that type of gun, 22 people die. If they do not have access to that type of gun, a very much lower number of people will die. I'll take the lower number. Now that's just my opinion, and I wish I could have my druthers. But when we had an assault weapons ban in this country, mass shootings plummeted. As soon as that assault weapons ban sunsetted, mass shootings tripled. The numbers speak for themselves. People do mass shootings when they have great arms. That's when they feel comfortable doing mass shootings. It's pretty basic.
My only thing that I would add is a lot of people say, "Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with I mean, AR doesn't mean assault rifle. It's a Aerotech something or another. But either way, they're like, it's fine. It's just for home protection. It's good." And I'm like, well, the government can't regulate it. Second Amendment, I have a right to be able to keep my AR. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. You keep your AR. I want a javelin or a anti-aircraft shoulder-powered rocket-propelled grenade. I want an RPG. But for some reason I can't get an RPG.
You can't.
But what about the Second Amendment?
Can you get a Tommy gun?
I would love to have a Tommy gun for home protection. Hand grenades. I like hand grenades and Tommy guns and javelins. And I want one of those big World War II cannons to just sit in my front yard,
just to ward off the evil spirits.
Exactly, to ward them off, because you never know when you might need it. I mean,
what if a guy down the street rides up into your yard with a tank? What are you gonna do then?
Hey, that's where my javelin comes in handy. See, if you're gonna be able to regulate anything, you should be able to regulate everything. That's my point. We just got to figure out where to draw the line. And I think the line should be drawn somewhere less than 22 people killed in one little freaking event at a bowling alley in Maine somewhere.
Yeah.
All right.
Enough of that. But we can write a book, but we're not gonna do that tonight.
Yeah. So congratulations. We have a congratulations in order. After 3 miserable weeks. We finally
Publicans.
Yeah, we finally have the publicans doing the right thing, and they move the old
needle,
just
the proverbial needle.
Look at that there.
They got themselves an old House Speaker finally, and this was a yeoman's effort. I mean, if you look at like the complexity of this thing, the only thing they had to do was just vote the same way, and they could have had this done 3 weeks ago, but they couldn't figure out how to do that. They couldn't get it together. That it ain't no Nancy Pelosi's over on the right. So they kind of in total disarray. And then they run in lockstep with whatever Trump blinks his eyes or farts to the left, and they all run to the left, So they finally picked out a guy. They finally found somebody horrible enough that they could all get behind. And I'm telling you, when I say horrible, this guy has a whole lot of horrible in his history record.
Yep, a lot of horrible, but fortunately for him, it doesn't include any gymnasium antics. Of course, he did. Says right here, House Speaker Mike Johnson played a key role in efforts to overturn the 2020 election. So he's a hardcore election denier. This guy thinks that the Democrats somehow are allowing abortions. Post-birth abortions.
They call that murder, don't they?
Yeah, that would be murder, my man. That's not an abortion. So yeah, after the child is born, he thinks that. So, and he also put forward legislation to make same-sex marriage illegal and punishable by imprisonment. Yeah.
Yeah, and because if Rob and Steve hook up, that's gonna be a problem for him. He feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about him to worry about, another man putting his penis. I can't get that, but that's what he do.
Yeah.
And then he also don't believe climate change is real. And he said COVID is a hoax and vaccines are dangerous for you, even though the reason that our economy opened up and we had such horrible inflation because of the supply chain, because there was so much demand, was because the vaccines did work.
Bingo.
That's why we opened back up, and that's why we're booming to this day, and we have the best unemployment numbers you've seen in 50 years. But this guy, he's true to form. It took a true, authentic, maggot, ridiculous person in order to corral the Republicans to all vote the same way. Congratulations, Republicans. You deserve it. You finally picked somebody disgusting enough to represent you.
That's what they do. All right.
Good job, Republicans. It only took you 3 weeks.
Now we're going to do a quick little rundown. This is about these people here. Number one, we're going to talk about Mr. Cheesy Bro.
So just set this up. Just for those who really aren't familiar with politics and you're just watching this because you like guys from Montgomery. Benedict Donald has 4 different cases going on right now, a total of 91 counts, and things are just now starting to crack open. When I say crack open, we'll get to the cracking lady later, but crack open, yeah, people are starting to, let's say, come to Jesus a little bit.
Yeah.
They're starting to admit malfeasances because they know if they have a short window of time, and if they don't admit the malfeasance quickly enough and get on the side of the prosecutors, they're going to see some jail time. So they have a short window. So now we're starting to see people turn into Mary Lou Retton.
Busting them. They busting them.
Simone Biles.
Yeah. Got gold medals in the closet. Listen, man. So it's crazy. The one thing I thought about the other day was, so out of all these people that are testifying against, that are flipping on Donald Trump and all it, they're all from his inner circle. They're all hardcore MAGA Republicans. They are all facing jail time. They say MAGA means make attorneys get attorneys or make attorneys get arrested. And it's back to back. It's back to back to back. They are all going down. They're going down in flames. Everything this dude touches is horrible.
And let me point out, the reason that lawyers are the first ones to go is because they understand the law better than non-lawyers.
Yeah.
That's why these lawyers are flipping now. They know exactly what's going on. Even though Benedict Donald sits in front of the TV and acts like everything is fine, he's shaking in his boots on the inside. They know it. They know he can't help but to be, and they're shaking in their boots. They know what ramifications are of sitting in the position that they're sitting in with the law not being on their side because they align with Trump. So they decided to go ahead and take care of themselves once and for all, because with Trump, loyalty only goes one way. So there's no use in being loyal to him at this point. They see the writing on the wall. Yeah. So they basically agreed to go ahead and testify truthfully in these prosecutions, and that's not going to be good for old Benedict.
Let's see what Cheese Bro talking about.
Breaking news from the Fulton County Courthouse just moments ago. Fulton County election interference co-defendant Kenneth Chesbro entered a plea deal with Fulton County prosecutors. Under the deal, Chesbro will receive 5 years probation, pay $5,000 in restitution, perform 100 hours of community service, and write an apology letter to the state of Georgia. He also agreed to testify against other defendants. He becomes the 3rd person indicted by a Fulton County grand jury in the election interference case to enter a plea deal. The deal comes on the day jury selection began in his case, the day after co-defendant Sidney Powell entered her own guilty plea.
So that's a neat little nugget. His guilty plea came just before the jury selection began, which means, just like I said, he's a lawyer. He knows that it's time. It's now or never. Let me jump off this Trump train and save myself, because after a few days from now, I'm going to be looking at Fulton County Jail, not a comfortable place at all. So he did the right thing. He's going to talk now. He's going to be truthful. And if he decides that he's not going to be truthful, that plea deal gets wiped away and he can be prosecuted. Bonnie Willis, you making your money, girl. You earning your money. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no doubt. Fonnie Willis got it going on.
And that was one.
Yeah.
One domino fell.
Yeah. Now the other thing that I think contributed to him go ahead and doing his thing, Sidney Powell. She went first.
Yeah. She looked like a Kraken when you look at her.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying because she got that leopard, tiger, alligator type shirt on. She looks like a surprise Kraken.
Yeah. Or because Igor is standing behind her over there. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So Sidney Powell
He looking at her almost like she a 15-year-old girl. Like he wants some of that.
Yeah. Sidney Powell pled guilty. She said basically she's going to go ahead and testify against Trump. But her story ended up having another little special twist because as soon as she pled guilty, came out of court, did her thing, then she goes on social media and starts claiming, well, first, Donald Trump said, she was never my lawyer. Yeah, she was not my lawyer.
She's a coffee lawyer.
Yeah, she used to get the coffee around the office and such.
She used to pick up the trash can.
Never met her. Yeah, though she's standing right there with Rudy Giuliani. Yeah, Sidney Powell was one of millions and millions of people who thought, and in ever increasing numbers still think correctly, that the 2020 presidential election was rigged and stolen, and our country is being absolutely destroyed because of it, despite the fake news reports to the contrary, and without even reaching out to ask the Trump campaign. Miss Powell was not my attorney and never was. Ew.
Wait. She was not my attorney and never was. That's like I have not been to the store and never have been.
Yeah. Sounds like an utter lie to me, you know what I'm saying? So then let's back up just a little bit. They put it here in the same story. Yeah. This was back November the 14th, 2020. Trump says, I look forward to Mayor Giuliani spearheading the legal effort to defend our right to free and fair elections. Rudy Giuliani, Joseph Giovanni, DeGenova,
Victoria Tunsing,
Sidney Powell. That's the one. And Jenna Ellis.
Yes.
A truly great team.
Now see, Benedict Donald, right here, he's saying she's my lawyer. When she flips and decides she's going to testify truthfully so that she can avoid jail time, Trump says she's not my lawyer. So this is just another clear example. All y'all people that call yourselves MAGA, the man will lie at the blink of an eye, and I wonder why you vote for him.
Yeah.
But you do.
Now, fast forward to the newest scandal in the. This is
Jenna Ellis.
Jenna Ellis. There she is.
The aforementioned Jenna Ellis.
Yes. Alligator tears, Jenna Ellis. She's the one who cried on the stand. She read a letter of apology, apologizing to the people of Georgia and America, and saying, "Hey, if I knowing what I know, if I knew then what I know now, I would have never represented Trump.
I never would have represented him.
Yeah,
I just did what these senior lawyers had told me to do."
Yep, crazy people in crazy times.
Benedict Donald had me under his spell.
Yeah, they had her under the spell.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So the lawyers are flipping all over the place. These are lawyers. These are people who Benedict Donald relied upon, had in his inner circle, representing his preeminent case. There was election fraud, and they were basically his foot soldiers spearheading his efforts to commit a crime and get an election overturned in the state of Georgia. Flip, flip, flip. I'm waiting on
ying ying ying.
I'm waiting on old black drippy head Rudy to go ahead and flip. When do you think that's gonna happen?
Man, Rudy can't flip, man. He in too deep. He can't flip.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They probably gonna want to see him behind bars.
Yeah. So all of these lawyers, all of these people, they're Trumpers. They were there in the room with him. They're all flipping.
They helped him commit the crimes.
Yes. And now they're flipping to get out of going to jail.
And by the way, what they did by flipping was they avoided a RICO case, racketeering, corrupt influence. They basically avoided that being tied in with the whole grand scheme by pleading guilty to their individual crimes. So this is a savvy move by lawyers. They're going to avoid jail time. They're going to be on probation for 1 billion years and pay $1 billion, but They're not going to jail, and they will testify. If they don't, they're behind his grass.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. So let's talk about another lawyer. Do y'all remember Michael Cohen?
I remember him.
Yeah.
Tess who?
Yeah. Michael Cohen, the one that paid off Stormy Daniels. And,
you know, when Trump was running around buying, you know, Gucci stuff, you know, he had to pay this lady off. So Michael Cohen got sentenced to jail, and in his sentencing document, they named Donald Trump individual one. He's never paid the price for that. And now it's time for him to pay the price for that. But Michael Cohen was a witness in his civil case for fraud. So he's already been deemed to have committed fraud. Both parties have agreed to the facts of the case. Now it's just a matter of how much fraud did he commit in the state of New York with his business that's getting dissolved. So Michael Cohen goes and testifies today, and him and Trump look at each other in the same room for the first time in years.
Yep. Well, let's play this little video if it'll play.
Y'all are going to like what happened on this one.
To the Trump trials. It was a dramatic day in New York City civil court this afternoon, and not just because former President Trump's former fixer Michael Cohen testified against him for a second straight day. In a shocking moment, former President Trump was actually called to take the stand himself to explain disparaging comments he made in a hallway, which the judge ruled had violated a gag order, barring Mr. Trump from making personal attacks against courtroom staff. Here are those hallway comments earlier today.
This judge is a very partisan judge, with a person who's very partisan sitting alongside of him, perhaps even much more partisan than he is. So we are doing very well. The facts are speaking very loud. He's a totally discredited witness, and you haven't seen anything yet. This goes on for a long time. He's a totally discredited witness.
The former president tried to convince the judge that he was talking about Michael Cohen, not court staff, but the judge was not buying it, and he fined the former president $10,000. And then, a short time later, the former president apparently stormed out of the courtroom. So, outside the courthouse is NBC's Dasha Burns. She joins us now live. Dasha, what in the world happened today?
Yeah, okay, buckle in for a second while I walk you through this, because it certainly is not the courtroom day that we were expecting. So you heard those comments. The line in question was the person that he was referencing sitting alongside the judge. At first, the judge asked Trump's lawyers, who was he referring to? The lawyer said Michael Cohen. The judge said, okay, let me consider that. And then a short while later, he calls Trump to take the stand. Now, Trump only took the stand for about a minute or so, and the judge asked him, who are you referring to? Trump says Michael Cohen, but he still again said, you know, that clerk, though, she is partisan against me. The clerk he's talking about, Gabe, is, if you remember, the very same clerk that he posted a disparaging post about that initially got the gag order placed on him. So this is...
Hey, that's your man. That's what they do, boy.
Yeah, this guy is pretty doggone stupid. How in the world? So he's talking about the aide, the court aide. He done already ragged this lady. Judge got enough of it, slapped a gag order on him. Then he goes right back out into the media and does it again. And then gonna come back in and lie. Oh, I was talking about Michael Cohen. The judge said, but when you refer to Michael Cohen, you always usually say Michael Cohen. And it turns out that in the statement that he made today when he was ragging the judge's aide, he changed the subject and actually mentioned Michael Cohen by name, because he started talking about Michael Cohen. So he came there and lied in front of the judge. Just saw right through it. $10,000. Do it again, Benedict Donald. It's gonna get worse and worse and worse. Yeah. I don't know if this guy can help himself. I mean, even the presence of that lady in the room, if she's just going about her business, that's going to tick him off. Yeah. So he's probably going to say something else about it the next. I mean, so what a freaking doofus.
That is your peoples. You know how y'all do.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, so it was a fun-filled day. Not much happened at all.
Yeah.
We sat back and we were pretty bored. We only know of one mass shooting today. That's
hey,
you know,
well,
that's terrible.
Yep. We have a lot of lawyers flipping and carrying on, and
Yeah.
on behalf of the MAGA investigation scandalous Y2K party. Yeah, they're doing their thing.
They're making it hard for people to apply scores to their floor routines the way they're flipping.
Yeah.
I mean, it's turning out to be. Now, keep in mind, this is just the beginning. When non-lawyers understand the value in flipping, that's when you're going to start seeing the domino trail just fall and fall and fall. And Benedict Donald eventually will be sitting out there all by himself, crying victim as usual, saying that everybody in the world is a rhino now.
Yeah. Everybody's a rhino, but hopefully he'll be in prison at the same time.
He'll be the guy. He'll make a friend of mouse. It'll be a mouse because he don't like people. And it'll be the best looking mouse in there, somebody who's camera ready.
Yeah.
And that'll be his friend. And he'll sit up and complain about how unfair things are until he gets mad at the mouse for squeaking too loud and steps on him.
That will be the end of the story. All right, you people. Yeah.
This is gonna do it for today. Enjoy watching the Flip Show. And before we go, I just want to remind everybody, Clarence Thomas is a slime ball. New Clarence Thomas ethics questions about forgiveness on luxury RV loan. What happened on that, man?
Well, he had got an RV that was given to him, and they said, well, it was a loan. Well, it turns out when Congress did an investigation into it, turns out the loan was actually just forgiven, meaning
he didn't have to pay for it. It was a gift.
It was a free gift.
All right, y'all.
$100,000 RV. Yeah.
Peace out.
Yeah. He likes traveling with the people.
Thank you for joining
Walmart
in.
parking lots. Yes, he loves it. That's your Uncle Thomas.
I like to ride on private jets with the common folk.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. Comment below. And thank you so much for joining in tonight, y'all. Figure out why would you ever consider voting for a Republican?
KQ!
KQ Polly since 72. Can you dig it?